Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. The subject is medical solutions. I've got the great pleasure, I've got panelists from Intel, Roger Tang and Kelvin Loom, and myself, Daniel Yen from Digital Marketing ROI. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
So just a couple of housekeeping issues. The phone number at the front, obviously for those who want to dial in. And we have Eric Wong, who is on the chat lines as well. In case you have any issues, just please raise your hand or ask a question via live chat, so Eric will be able to answer those on behalf of the team. So today we're going to be talking about the intersection of healthcare sector and technologies, particularly in Asia, which is a very dynamic, very fast-growing economy. And, some of the things that we're going to talk about have to do with the connected hospital environment, where we want to envision the future digital hospital of tomorrow, today. And as we all know, Intel's here to sponsor the future. So Roger, please go ahead and describe to us what is the ideal connected hospital environment going to be like?
Thank you, Daniel. So the connected hospital has been implemented in many hospitals across the globe. The hospital back-end systems are getting mature. For example, the Hospital Information System, HIS, the Electronics Medical Record, EMR, and Personal Health Record, PHR. All the patient's information and medical record are securely stored in the data center. So in a connected hospital, a doctor or nurse can utilize a multi-parameter patient monitor to pull the patient information from HIS EMR system.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
What I wanted to highlight, I guess, here is the fact that the data can flow seamlessly from patient to doctor and so on and so forth. And the key factor is to have the right hardware in place. Let's look at that in a little bit more detail as we examine, I guess, how the connected environment is going to assist both doctors and patients in terms of communication and in terms of imaging, diagnostic, and so on and so forth. Roger, what are the key segments in healthcare that you see is going to help the hospitals of tomorrow in that sense?
Okay, so as we can see from the slides, there are three key categories in the healthcare segment. So for the first category, we have this imaging, diagnostics, and therapeutics category. So for this category, they are actually a highly regulated category. The device has passed strict regulations. Due to these types of devices are important to provide the accurate readings or images. And any minor error might cause serious consequences. So for imaging, for example, CT, MRI, usually this device requires at least 4 Xeon processors for image reconstruction purposes.
Right. So there's a lot of computing power, isn't it? And all of that cannot necessarily be outsourced to the cloud for computing, all of these real-time imaging processing. What are the key trends that you then see in imaging and diagnostics? There's a couple of 3 key areas that I see here, from the CT, MRI, and PETs and all that type of stuff. How does that work for when you have Intel embedded? How does that assist in this process?
Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, we are getting into the trend of the connected hospital, so which means all the medical devices will be connected. So when we talk about connectivity, data security is very important.
Okay, excellent. And obviously there are key trends in therapeutics and fitness as well. Perhaps you can choose one of those, such as maybe the therapeutic area, and to just help us understand how's the Intel solution assisting in enhancing the patient care itself.
Okay, so for the therapeutics device, other than connectivity, the device when they link up, in order for the doctor to be able to trace the patient's medical results anytime, and in fact anywhere as well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So beyond remedial health and looking after patients in a hospital environment, the advances in technology are very important in terms of proactive health, isn't it? In that sense, there's a lot of people who are growing older. In fact, it's predicted by the year 2050, I believe, 2 billion people on this planet will be over the age of 60. And that's a lot of people. So, the governments around the world are really talking about, the right type of lifestyle, if you like, and obviously fitness takes a big chunk of that in helping people remain healthy. So, in the next slide, we're going to look at the Connected Fitness Center, which is personally exciting to me, because I've been a big believer in staying healthy by exercise. But in this case, how is technology playing a role in assisting, the average person in terms of remaining healthy and to use the, smart, fitness devices? Kelvin, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. So Daniel, previously we talked about the connected hospital concept, right? So that connected concept is actually can be further evolved to other segments like the fitness center, as you mentioned just now, right? So we are talking about instilling intelligence into the fitness equipment, because traditionally for fitness equipment, it is with the LED console that display only the basic information like the heartbeat, the distance, and even the training program options, right? So the trend is that nowadays the console is to have a bigger screen and with touch control, okay, so that you have interactive kind of event that's going on. And you are now able to connect to the internet and watch video on demand and even race with friends virtually. Okay, with all this rich multimedia experience, it actually requires high computing power, where Intel platform can help in this case.
Okay.
And with every fitness equipment that is connected, so you are able to retrieve or store your training progress from any single machine.
Okay.
Right, and for this you can actually track the progress from your phone and share it with your personal trainer or healthcare consultant.
Right. So it's really be able to, archive a lot of your, fitness, performance, habits, trends, and in many ways to have that data on tap, whichever machine you happen to be using in the gym, or even maybe at home. Would that be right?
Yep.
That's very exciting. Let's look at a particular case study, which is the Fitness Center Digital Trainer. And I can see this one is being created by MyFit device by Respond Design. Yeah? And on this monitor that we see in front of us, there's a camera on top. In fact, it looks like no ordinary camera, isn't it? Tell us more about that, and what does this do?
Well, actually that camera is not ordinary camera, as you say. It's actually a 3D sensor as well. Okay, so this Respond Design actually intends to create this world first digital trainer, and they have a few challenges, and one of the key challenges is they want to have a very fast gesture recognition. Okay, so for this machine is powered by Intel Core i5 multi-core processor, where they can overcome the challenge by using one of the core to process the gesture data in order to ensure the best performance in gesture recognition. Mm-hmm. And they use other core to process other data like the 3D modeling, the training programs, and so on.
And I believe it must also take advantage of other Intel wizardry, such as multi-threading, in order to process multiple streams of data simultaneously. Is that a unique feature that allows this machine to perform with just 2 cores?
Yeah, so the hyper-threading definitely will be helpful in this case. So according to Respond Design, that they are able to delegate like different software threads to the multi-core, multi-threaded CPU in order to gain like 3x performance than a single-threaded.
3x, did you say? So 300% more. Okay, yes. Exciting, very nice.
Right.
So I guess there are many examples of how Intel is assisting both the medical, remedial health environment as well as proactive health. Here we're looking at more examples in terms of remote patient monitoring system, the bedside infotainment system, and obviously having an intelligent embedded device in a medical environment is assisting both doctors and patients on their road to recovery. Tell us more how that works in terms of the Intel solution.
Okay, sure. So probably we can talk more about the bedside infotainment system. It is known as bedside terminal as well. So we are talking about the connected environment, right? So this is really connecting up to the point of care. Okay, it is located just beside the patient at their bedside. Okay, so for the patient, they are able to, let's say, enjoy on-demand multimedia entertainment, browse through the internet, and order their meals or access their hospital bills and so on. Whereas for the healthcare practitioners, they are able to record and retrieve the patient's data, or medical records, prescriptions, and so on, or even share the CT, MRI, digital images to the patients right at their bedside. Okay, so for bedside infotainment system, actually, there's a range of products that can be supported from Atom up to 4 series. Okay, so for Intel, it provides like robust system and very good HD graphics performance for medical imaging applications and also multimedia entertainment. And of course, the connectivity and security and even the remote management is important for the bedside infotainment system in order for the hospital to manage the system.
So I imagine it could even assist the doctor in terms of monitoring the patient's progress in terms of their recovery. If they're plugging in different kind of biomeasurement, and measuring their vital signs or something like that, that could effectively feed into this, isn't it?
Yeah, so that would be more suitable for the remote patient monitoring system. That is the intention for the whole the system when it is built. It is able to collect multiple data like from the oximeter, from the weight scale, from the blood pressure monitoring devices, and store all the data in the remote patient monitoring system in order for the patients to maintain and manage their own personal health, like their diet and good living habits.
That's interesting and very useful. I imagine when a person moves from one hospital to another maybe, or needs to share this information with another specialist, potentially even located in a different hospital, a different city, a different country.
Mm-hmm.
Right, thank you. So technology is really the foundation to enable the next generation healthcare environment. I can see that already. The competitive solutions that we need are multiple. I think there's a question about reliability, connectivity, performance, and all that type of stuff. And finally, safety and security, which I believe we're going to touch on later on. But again, within the context of an aging population, and I'm talking about 2 billion people over the age of 60, some of them will be in their 70s, some of them will be in their 80s. Governments around the world are very, very concerned and making sure that these people are not just getting great health today, but have the medical infrastructure to take care of a growing number of people who are moving up in terms and aging into that into different higher age groups. So the Intel platform technologies, tell us more about that, Kelvin. What are those, and how does that assist in medical solution?
Okay, so this slide actually shows that there are a range of products from Atom, Celeron, Pentium, and up to the Xeon class processor, right? So it is, and then it is mapped to different platform technologies that could be helped in different areas. So it's more to show that when you are selecting your product and when you decide to have certain features, let's say if you want to have the remote manageability features, it will be supported from Core i5 onwards to up to Xeon class processor. So probably you can talk about the virtualization technology that helps in the medical or healthcare devices. So as you can see over here, you can see two virtualization technology. One is VTX, which is supported from Atom up to Xeon, and then we have VTP, which is a premium kind of feature. It is support from Core i5 onwards to up to Xeon. Okay. So what it does is that basically, traditionally, one platform or one system can only install one operating system. Okay, with virtualization, you can actually install multiple operating systems. Okay, with VTX, it is a hardware accelerated feature from Intel processor that improves the performance of the virtual machines or the virtual operating system. Okay, as for the VTP, it is able to improve the I/O performance. Let's say we can directly assign the Ethernet to the one of the operating systems so that it's having like better performance compared to the older generations of the virtualization.
Okay. So the VTX allows for potentially parallel OSs to run concurrently. or parallel virtual systems?
It's parallel operating system concurrent. So what it does is that some of the benefits are like you can have the legacy kind of application migration, because some of the new platforms they wouldn't support the older generations of operating system or applications. So with virtualization you can actually do that, because the operating system itself is actually a virtual machine that you can install on the latest and greatest platform. And then there's another potential benefit is that you can do some mission critical isolation as well. So let's say if you have two operating systems, one is doing some mission critical tasks, and then the other one will be the general purpose operating system. Let's say if the general purpose operating system is hung, it will not affect the mission critical operating system. So.
Right, right. Now that makes a lot of sense. And some of the applications of the VTX platform particularly would be, I guess, in a hospital CRM, or some kind of data management facility within a hospital, or even maybe within the medical records of governments, I imagine, where, as you pointed out, being able to access those databases in real time will require multiple virtual systems running concurrently, so that, as you pointed out, if one were to fail for whatever reason, the other one would just instantly take over. Would that be in that context that you would require the high computing power of VTX platform?
Oh, exactly. It will be a mixture of VTX and VTE, actually.
Okay, excellent, very good. So what we are looking at today, I guess, is looking at the trends, isn't it? And the trends are going up in every way. What actually surprised me, folks, is the fact that a lot of those medical devices, some of those are actually embedded inside a human being, has a CPU, doesn't it? And these CPUs are vulnerable just like any device, your computer, your PC, or what have you. And viruses can be at times downloaded into these medical devices. So I'm shocked to see that when it comes to 173 medical devices infected since malware since 2009, at the hardware level, it's critical that we have some type of security, some type of firewall to protect the device from malfunctioning. How is Intel addressing that challenge, and what is it doing, in this case at the hardware level, because there's no I/O there, there's no keyboard, nothing to interface with it, and it needs to be protected very much at the hardware level. And I believe Intel has a solution there. What is that again, and how does that work?
So for a medical device, when it's connected, it is not spared from the malware intrusion. So as we have mentioned earlier, the number of intrusions is increasing day by day. So for Intel, a company that always emphasizes on the data security, Intel has acquired McAfee. So McAfee has several data security features specially designed to provide the data security protection for the medical device. So why not we move to the next slide, and we can show the number of cumulative malware threats recorded by the McAfee labs. Okay, so as you can see here, the number of the malware threats is 6 million in 2007 and increasing to 56 million in 2011. So when a medical device is connected, there's always a high risk to be infected by malware.
Okay. So this hardware protection, Roger, that works on most of the Intel range of chips, or is it just maybe at the core and above level? Can you just talk to us a bit more about that?
So actually, this McAfee is a software can protect from Apple 4 even 0.
Okay.
So actually, for embedded standpoint, McAfee focus on different security features as compared to the traditional antivirus solution. So we want to emphasize here is the art is not only providing the antivirus, but McAfee also provide the anti-hacking features. It can protect the unwanted program installations, either intentionally or accidentally.
Right, very interesting. And I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong there, but this sits below the operating system level. So it's actually difficult to disable that function, isn't it? Thomas, do you have some thoughts on that?
Yes. When you if you talk about the malware protections, I think many people have also heard about these terms called rootkits, right? So those things reside before in your computer systems. Even before you boot up your computer system, it's there, and when you boot up, you actually attack your machines or your equipment. So what happens is if you have just ordinary malware protections program, what will happen is these things will not be detected.
Right.
Because it's already part of the operating system that you put out. So if you have end-to-end protections from the time that you've been powered on, the protections are already there with the combinations of Intel technologies and also the McAfee technologies.
Right.
So you assure that you are free from all these attacks, known and unknown.
Good,
so
good.
This is the values that Intel can deliver. I think it's unparalleled in the industry.
You're quite right. Because even before the OS kicks in, it's already protected you. But once the OS kicks in, it's too late because the virus is really designed to work on the OS, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Very interesting. All right, folks. There's, Intel itself is involved in the healthcare sector in every level, and we've touched only on some of them today. However, there are some areas where Intel offers this unique value proposition within the medical solution ecosystem. Maybe Thomas or Kelvin or one of you guys would like to maybe share with us what are your views in terms of the key points of differentiation that you would like to highlight based on what we have covered so far.
Okay, so if you look at the connected hospital environment, so you see that once you're connected, you are actually open up yourself for a lot of uncertainties, right? So our approach is not just providing you the compute power, but our approach is to make sure that once you have the compute power, you get connectivity, you are protected, you get the manageability, you have a reliable platform to rely on. Right, all these aspects of it, right? Connect, secure, manage, reliability, everything from Intel solution point of view, we are delivering this. Right, of course, you may think that Intel is just a chip maker. How can they deliver so much of it, right? So we have a huge ecosystem, both software, hardware, operating systems, right? They are all around us to help us to deliver these visions that we have just shared with you to the markets, to the end users.
Right.
So we are not just powered by Intel, but you're powered by a lot of ecosystem who is also working hand in hand with us to make sure that we have a more secure healthcare connected environment.
You're quite right, and in that sense, the Intel, representatives play a very critical role, isn't it, in terms of the technology roadmap, as you pointed out, and by working very closely with hardware developers, offering that unique end-to-end consulting solution that allows hardware developers to choose not just the right kind of chip, but the right kind of solution. And as you mentioned there, the other components that plug into that ecosystem has to be done in a partnership type of environment.
Yeah.
And I guess this is really where your team plays a very important role. Can you tell us more about that? What's life like in the day-to-day kind of experiences that a hardware developer has when they're interacting with an Intel representative?
So typically, if you're hardware developers, right, you have multiple channels to reach your Intel, right? So some of you are covered already by the Intel sales representative and broader communities, right? So we have recently set up the online sales centers, right? So this online sales center is a group of people that will stay there, as long as possible. I won't say that it's 24/7, and you can reach them 24/7.
Right.
To emails, to telephones, they are ready to help you, to lead you to suitable solutions that Intel and the partners can deliver.
Right.
So we are trying to reach out at this moment. We are trying to reach out to more of the developers out there. Right, it doesn't matter what size you are in, right? But you have an Intel representative that is attentive to your needs today.
Right. And that solution is obviously quite unique because I've I'm a big technology buff myself. I love to read about the latest and the greatest in terms of gadgets. But here we're talking about Intel offering its expertise to hardware developers of all sizes. And I guess what we encourage the audience and people who can be listening to this is to make the effort to actually maybe reach out to you guys and be surprised to the level of professional help and assistance that they can get even before they start to build, especially at the R&D, feasibility, road mapping stage of their hardware development cycle. Would that be right?
Yes, exactly. So you'll be surprised of the efficiencies that the online sales group can deliver to you, right? So they are actually working I think around the clock, around the world to deliver to propose to you suitable features and solutions according to your needs, right? So I think this is one of the most useful arm for you to tap into, right? One of the most useful resources for you to tap into today to enjoy and experience Intel's power in the computing world.
And there's so many emerging sectors in terms of embedded technology. I mean, medical solution sector itself, I can see already has many applications, and the two main ones would be remedial health, which is basically taking care of sick people who are on the road to recovery, and then proactive health on the other hand. So that already can spawn many kind of intelligent devices. But just as a quick recap, perhaps we can touch quickly on the other sort of applications. We've talked about signage before, there's security, of course, and there's so many more. And I guess your team is able to address each and every one of those sectors. Is that right?
Yeah, so it may not be just from our teams, right? So the people that are on this bridge, you see, is just one small portion of the Intel employees that's focused on sectors. So we have different expertise who are covering, other segments like those industrial, energy, you mentioned about signage. We have digital security surveillance, we have gaming, we have retail sectors, all these people is professional teams that, well trained in Intel's technologies and well trained in the sector's needs, right? So they can reach out to you as well if you don't have any questions for it.
Right. But maybe I'll ask Kelvin to also share some of his thoughts in terms of the future of technology. And how do you feel Intel is playing a critical role in accelerating, the development of newer devices, more powerful devices, more effective devices that actually can enhance our life? Intel's website, quote, sponsors the future. Tell us your views about that.
So I would say right now, for each of the every generations that we have created, the newer generations will be having better performance compared to the previous generations, right? So, but not only the performance, we can see that the power itself is like lowering down, right? So from the previous slides that we can see, so some of the equipments that we can see is like more focusing on like portability and stuff. So I would say the next few generations of CPU that we are going to have is that having high performance and lower power that helps in each of the every segments that might be needing it.
Okay, that's great. I heard you guys talk about performance, and performance is key, isn't it? But today there are devices that require that high level performance. And I think we might have mentioned it before, but some of those computing capabilities, they cannot really be outsourced to the cloud, can they? Especially when you talk about life-saving devices that are monitoring microsecond by microsecond the state of a patient. None of this can be outsourced to the cloud. You can't use necessarily a low-performance chip. And of course, in developing devices that is meeting existing demand, Intel will play a role in communicating and discussing and even consulting with hardware developers. Roger, can you tell us what do you think, the unique sort of role that Intel plays in the whole hardware development ecosystem and its life cycle as well?
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, Intel has a great relationship with many ecosystems. So across the APAC region, EMEA region, the American region. So we have many sales teams, sales forces, field teams to work with these ecosystems. So we build solutions with them. We together develop the solutions for different segments. For example, we have medical, as mentioned earlier by this Calvin. Yeah.
Excellent. So Thomas, maybe you want to share your final views and invite the audience and everybody who listens to this to start a conversation with you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, if you lack of idea what to start and think how to start, right? So you can, for us, apart from being a chip makers, we produce silicons, but of course, for every market segment itself, we come up with different kind of POCs, right? For healthcare, for example, we have POCs for the mobile client assistant XDAs. Some of them is delivered by our ecosystem. Some of them is delivered by us. So we also have reference design. If you do not know how to kickstart your designs, we have reference designs that you can tap into. We have a lot of documentations that are available online, or you can contact one of the salespersons to get attached to these resources, right? And lately we also move into producing the device that is lookalike the real device that you use in the markets, in the hospital. We call it FFRD. So we are moving from just a chip makers to helping you to realize how the medical equipment will be in the real world. Right, this is to cut short your development cycles to help you jumpstart into Intel environment.
Right. So it's really going beyond imagination and ideation and imagineering, as I call it, into actually creating real live working proof of concepts. So if you're a hardware developer out there and you want to feel more confident about what is your gut feeling when it comes to a device that you've got on your roadmap, it's quite likely, in fact, very possible that Intel has already built a proof of concept working model, and all you need to do is to reach out to them and say, well, show me how it works. And Intel will be happy, as I get it now, to help them, right?
Yes, right. So call out today to our online sales agents, okay? Online sales account managers. Call to them, they will be able to help you to jumpstart your developments for the next platform that you have.
Sounds fantastic, guys. And of course, as you can see on the screen, more information can be found at the website that you can see down at the bottom there of this deck. I want to thank everybody, Thomas, Roger, and Kelvin, today for joining me in really kind of starting a conversation, a discussion, to look at the what's possible today when it comes to medical solution, but more importantly, what's possible tomorrow. If you can have a bit of a chat with those guys, and they have proof of concept working model, which is exciting, and to me this is perhaps an opportunity maybe in the future to even demonstrate some of those, should you choose to log in again to one of our upcoming webinars in the near future. So once more, thanks again, guys, and look forward to the next one.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.